This segment of Insights from the Real Deal is brought to you by the law firm of Kelly Dry and Warren, the real estate specialists.
Hi, I'm Bob Knackel, joining you today with the first installment of Insights from the Real Deal. Insights from the Real Deal is going to address topics that are very important to people who are active in New York's real estate marketplace. We're going to look at the dynamics and relationships between politics, economics, and how they affect things happening in the real estate market. In this week's episode, we're going to talk about something everyone's very interested in, and that's what's happening with land value in New York City. In 2009, there were 73 development sites sold in New York City. That's a far cry from the hundreds that we had at the peak of the market in 2006 and 2007. But the good news is that in 2010, the number of sales has already exceeded the totals that we had in 2009. Surprisingly, however, the average price per buildable foot in Manhattan last year was $363, a surprising number given the perceptions that people have of the marketplace. So far in 2010, that average price per square foot has been about $330. The land market that's been most adversely affected has been the Bronx, where we had almost 1 million buildable square feet of development land sold in 2009. So far this year, it's been only a quarter of that number. Most of that decline is attributable to the fact that affordable housing funds coming from the city have all but dried up. It's getting exceedingly difficult for affordable housing developers to deliver affordable housing units to the marketplace. In the Manhattan marketplace, which is a leading indicator for the market in general, we've seen the buildable square footage of development sites sold nearly triple thus far in 2010 versus last year. And we expect that trend to continue as financing becomes more readily available. The one surprise in the land market has been the Queens submarket, in which we had an increase in value in 2010 versus 2009. That increase was about 26% on a price per buildable square foot basis. Unfortunately, the number of land sales that have occurred in the borough are down significantly, running at about 25% the number that occurred in 2009. Thus far in 2010, we've had 2.5 million buildable feet of land sold, and that's projected to be slightly higher for the year than we had last year. But what's interesting to think about is that in the peak years of 2006 and 2007, there were 20 to 25 million buildable feet of development sites sold. So we're running at a very significant reduction relative to the height of the market. And clearly what we've seen in this cycle is that there's a bias towards smaller transactions. It's very rare to find development sites that have sold with more than 100,000 buildable square feet. In 2009, there was approximately $382 million spent on land transactions. Thus far, through the first 3 quarters of 2010, we've had $723 million spent, and if we annualize that, we should come out with a total for 2010 that's about 2.5 times the dollar volume that we saw in 2009. I believe that moving forward, we will see land values increase, particularly in the more prime locations throughout Manhattan and the boroughs. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Bob Knackel, and we'll see you next time on Insights from the Real Deal.